Where do you think this IPL is headed? As in, have you seen a closer fight than this before?
Last year, when there were scores of 230, 240 getting very common, we thought that, IPL might have lost its charm.
But since PSL started, which is a real competitor to the IPL.
Shreyas again getting that revenge against his former team. Nothing gets better than that.
IPL is a place where you believe you can get the best of the biggest dramas of the cricket world.
Saurabh, how have these captains and coaches looked this time?
How he has mentored someone like Shubman Gill, who is the vice captain of Indian Limited Overs team.
Yeah.
So he is touted as the next or future captain if you look at the current proceedings. So Ashish Nehra is helping him write his own story with Gujarat Titans.
Two people who have the same mindset, same hunger to win, same hunger to prove their naysayers wrong.
Yeah.
When they come together, they've become a force to reckon with them. People should be worried about Punjab. I really see them scripting something magical this season.
We are back on another episode of Sledging Room Podcast. Saurabh, plenty has changed since the last time we were here.
Yeah.
Before we delve into the details of what has changed, I just want you to, do this for me. Raise your hand. One of your right hand is broken. We all know that. We can see the, what is that called? A stint.
Even Ruturaj Gaikwad did that with an injury.
No, that's where I'm coming to. Can you do this? Can you raise both of your hands and clap?
Are you trying to mock my injury?
No. Don't take offense.
I can just raise my left hand.
See, Saurabh ji.
And if you could clap with one hand, I could have done that, but I can't.
See, the thing is, Saurabh, I have a suspicion that you've been wearing that sling to get off work. You don't want to work probably. Because see, there are cricketers who have fractures and they are still, cheering, playing football. Have you seen that image of Ruturaj Gaikwad, using both his hands to, cheer for MS Dhoni during the match in Lucknow?
Yeah, I saw that image, but why are you reading too much into it? Yeah. What's wrong in that?
See, jokes aside, Saurabh, Rishabh was, genuinely thinking that we'll take a dig at CSK, which is not going to happen, Rishabh. We know your Mumbai loyalties. By the way, we have to introduce Rishabh.
Yeah.
He comes into the podcast probably as an impact sub.
Yeah, mostly for King Shuk.
Yeah, like your former captain Rohit Sharma, who has been playing there. He's a huge Mumbai Indians fan. But, jokes aside, people have pointed out that it's a hairline fracture. He probably can do that. It's probably not that threatening. We don't know the science behind it, but it's been said that Ruturaj is out and Mahiba is back. That's something that we did not talk about in the last episode of Sledging Room Podcast because we did not have an episode last week. That's why plenty has changed in the IPL season so far. Delhi were unbeaten last week, but they have now faced a defeat. People ruled out Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings, but they have probably taken the first step towards, redemption and all that. But Saurabh, you've been talking about scripts and all that.
Yeah.
Where do you think this IPL is headed? As in, have you seen a closer fight than this before? The top team has 8 points, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And the bottom team has 4 points. Just 2 wins are the difference. What do you make of this?
IPL is known to be the most competitive league across the world, T20 league.
Yeah.
And last year, when there were scores of 230, 240 getting very common, we thought that, IPL might have lost its charm. We are not going to see a low scoring getting defended anymore. But this IPL, especially in the last weeks or so, last 3 or 4 matches, they have been sensational.
Yeah.
I mean, DC choking against Mumbai Indians, you take that. CSK coming back, Rishabh Pant not giving Bishnoi that over. And then the biggest of them all, Punjab Kings getting bowled out for 1-1-1. And then Chahal masterclass, Marco Janssen masterclass, 95 all out. And KKR fans were all heartbroken.
I am finding a coincidence, Saurabh. Just correct me if I am wrong.
Okay.
The PSL started when? A week ago?
Yeah, 12.
Over the weekend.
Yeah.
Till then, IPL was giving okay matches.
Okay.
Kind of, it started with one-sided matches. Idhar udhar ho raha tha. People were saying, is the buzz around IPL not that great? But since PSL started, which is a real competitor to the IPL, people are talking about it. Let's come back to that later. But since the PSL started, the blockbusters have begun.
Yeah.
Is there someone writing these scripts? Like, okay, you saw Punjab scoring 246 and losing a match. Now see them scoring 111 and defending a match.
Yeah.
If someone's writing those scripts, send them to Bollywood. At least make better Hindi films these days.
Without a doubt, if somebody is doing it, pretty good job. Yeah, last night I think it just brought the tournament back alive. The kind of game that we saw, just kind of that seesaw of emotions that fans went through. KKR bundling out Punjab for 111 and coming out and defending that. Especially, I mean, the game was in their grasp. They required hardly 50 runs with 7 wickets in hand. It was done and dusted, but then that Chahal masterclass and that Shreyas Iyer getting that revenge against his former team. Nothing gets better than that.
So it's all plotted perfectly now, right? Yeah.
Akshay, you asked who is writing those scripts. God is writing those scripts. You saw how Karan Nair made that comeback. You saw how Karan Sharma made that comeback.
How MS Dhoni made that.
MS Dhoni made that comeback.
Yeah.
CSK made that comeback. I mean, we did not expect CSK to win a game, especially against LSG in Lucknow.
Yeah.
But MS Dhoni and his team made that. So God is writing those scripts for every cricket fan. And this IPL is a place where you believe you can get the best of the biggest dramas of the cricket world. And the biggest scripts are written.
Yeah.
Like when this IPL started, we got someone like Priyan Sharia, who scored a beautiful 100. Then we got someone like a Digvesh Rathi, both of them coming from Delhi cricket.
Yeah.
Now, a Karun Nair forgotten.
Yeah.
I remember in 2022 December, he wrote a tweet, please cricket, give me another chance. And look at him where he is now.
Yeah.
First game coming back into IPL, scores an 89, smacks Mumra all over the park. Yes, he did not land on the winning side, but that knock was one of the two self. So God is writing those scripts, and you could see every day it's going to get tougher for teams, and every point is going to matter. Every ball is going to matter. So, and you saw how Mumbai won that game.
Yeah.
It was over for them.
Yeah.
If not for some shithousing from Delhi Capitals lower order, and brilliant fielding from Mumbai Indians. That was some fielding. Ryan Nicholton, brilliant behind the wickets. So yeah, God is writing those scripts actually. If you ask me, who is writing those scripts?
Rishabh, when will God write a good script for Rohit Sharma?
Well, you never know. Akshay, Sunday is a good day. I hope it turns out to be a good day for you. And I'm not really sure because the last time...
By the way, we have banned Rishabh from being on the shift this Sunday.
Why?
Because yesterday what he did to one of his colleagues,
Oh my God.
Alan, who has been on this podcast before, he's a huge KKR fan. After Punjab lost to KKR, Alan was obviously heartbroken.
Punjab defeated KKR.
Punjab defeated KKR or KKR lost to Punjab, however way you want to put it.
Or maybe somebody wrote it that way.
Yeah, Alan was heartbroken on the shift, and then he gets a consolation gift. And that's Punjabi Tadka.
So I gave him two options.
Yeah.
So one was another set of namkeen, and that was the another set of namkeen. I told him to choose anyone, whichever he liked, and that was in the mid innings. And he ended up choosing his own death, which it turned out to be eventually.
Let's see on Sunday what you will get.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I hope you won't be as happy as you are right now. And Rohit Sharma is going to make that for sure.
Oh my God. That's...
This is all about IPL, right? This is
Yeah.
what we want, as in like in IPL, as in like, yes, of course, the data part of it, the heavy part of it also matters, in identifying, in appreciating the lesser talent, the lesser known talents. But the fun part is what dominates. Talking about the fun part, Saurabh, how have these captains and coaches looked this time? That is probably what we wanted to discuss in this episode of Sledging Room.
Yeah.
Like over the years, we have seen Rohit, Jayawardene, Dhoni, Fleming. Are we getting more such bonds this season? As in, like, I'm seeing a couple at least. What do you think?
I mean, definitely. If you look at the IPL points table, Gujarat are at the top.
Yeah.
Fine. Who is nurturing that success there? Someone with a coconut
Hardik
water
was
in his
there.
hand.
Yeah.
Ashish Nehra. Ashupa is doing it for them, right? With Hardik, he won the league. Then he went to reach the final. Then there was one bad season where Hardik left and everything was falling apart for Gujarat.
You also wrote a piece saying that why Nehra is not the reason, then Hardik was the reason and he left.
Yeah.
Is that something you... Go ahead.
No. So if you look at that, how he has mentored someone like Shubman Gill, who is a vice captain of Indian Limited Overs team.
Yeah.
So he is touted as the next or future captain, if you look at the current proceedings. So Ashish Nehra is helping him write his own story with Gujarat Titans.
Yeah.
Then number 2 teams are Delhi Capitals. Hemang Badani.
Yeah.
Venugopal Rao.
Yeah. How many of you gave a chance to Hemang Badani when he was appointed? Even someone in our desk told you, I think, what is this appointment? In a league of heavyweight coaches like Ricky Ponting, Gautam Gambhir, who was there, Rahul Dravid. You're appointing someone like Hemang Badani, who has very little experience of, coaching at the highest level. Someone told you that.
I think there were a couple of people who cracked a few jokes on that. And it was, I'll be very, very honest here. Even I was not very much confident. Because yes, Hemang Badani has proven his credentials
Yeah.
across other leagues.
Yeah.
But being the head coach of an IPL franchisee, that much pressure, handling that kind of overseas star power, that is something which we had not seen earlier.
Yeah.
And now it's not just Hemang Badani. There is a group of staff. There's a Matthew Mott, T20 World Cup winning coach of England is there.
Yeah.
Kevin Peterson, he himself is a different star guy.
Yeah.
So it's a group of people that's working out. And there are different leaders in the team. Axar Patel, KL Rahul. So all these players and these coaches, even for RCB, when Dinesh Karthik retired, everyone was like, okay, now what will RCB do? Will they get a wicket keeper? Dinesh Karthik became their batting coach, made that auction strategy, got them Phil Salt, got them Nitish Sharma, and now he's honing the skills of Nitish Sharma as a batter, as a wicket keeper. So you can see this captain coaches duo are very important, especially with teams like Mumbai and SRH, and especially with CSK. What has fallen apart? I don't think Rituraj and Fleming were working at the same level as Dhoni and Fleming were. Even with Mumbai Indians, Hardik and Jayawardene, it's not the same. It does not give you the same aura that Rohit and Jayawardene used to give. That those five IPL titles. Oh my God. So you can see if your coach and captain are working in tandem, that will reflect on the results on the field.
Talking about success story, what is wrong with Hardik and Jayawardene, Rishabh?
Well, he
Like
just
even
got
in that
appointed.
match against Delhi Capitals, we were seeing that there was a little animation in the camp when Rohit was suggesting something, Mahela was relaying that, or probably not relaying that, and then Hardik taking it to the field. What is happening there? Is it all well this year? Or
Everything is well, actually. You don't have to worry too much about that. And also, I mean, Jayawardene just got reappointed last time. It was Mark Boucher. Now they've got Jayawardene back, hoping that he will recreate that magic that he did with Rohit Sharma. And don't you worry about our slow starts. That's what we have done in the past. We have scripted the greatest comeback the IPL has ever seen back in
is
2015.
I'm not talking about all that.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, is the relationship between Hardik and Jayawardene looking good on TV?
I mean, it's up for the reporters or for us, for everyone to see. I mean, yes, if we are not losing, it might look bad, but the minute we start winning, the minute we start getting all the puzzles together, it will turn out to be good. You don't have to worry about that. And especially you're talking about Ashish Nehra earlier, what he has done with the Indian bowlers in the team as well, with Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj, the way he has corrected them. I mean, I heard Robin Uthappa talking about that specifically, how he has corrected their lens, how it has given them a lot more confidence. They both are sitting with 10 wickets each, and Gujarat bowling attack is just breathing fire. And you know, we were talking about the captain and the coaches thing. The captain coach duo that people should be fearing is Shreyas Iyer and Ricky Ponting. What they are creating together at Punjab camp. Last night victory, I mean, I heard Nehal Vadera speak that in the post-match press conference. He was like, there is never negativity in that dressing room. And when two people who have the same mindset, same hunger to win, same hunger to prove their naysayers wrong, when they come together, they've become a force to reckon with them. People should be worried about Punjab. I really see them doing something, scripting something magical this season.
Good, that's a good point, Saurabh, because when we speak about Ricky Ponting and Shreyas here, keep in mind this is not the first time they are working together.
Right.
A young Shreyas Iyer taking over from Gautam Gambhir in a couple of years, he led Delhi to the final where they were whopped. That's another that's another thing by Mumbai Indians. But that combination reuniting after a couple of years, see, it all looked flashy between Ponting and Pant.
Yes.
It looked very rosy between them on TV, the promotions and all that. But now you can feel that energy, right? Ponting was, he was saying that my heartbeat was like over 200 or something. I didn't know. And then that energy, like he said, both are very positive characters, and them, combining that together might work. As in, like, Saurabh, as in, like, what do you think? As in, is there a chance of Project Punjab delivering what it has to deliver?
Very much possible. I mean, if you look at two players, especially Ponting was a legendary player in his prime time, a legendary captain. And then he has combined with Shreyas Iyer. Ponting was the one who gave Mumbai Indians their first title. Mid-season, he stepped down as the captain. He made Rohit the captain. And then Mumbai went on to win that IPL 2013. So this is not the first time, if these two go on to win the title, that Ponting and a Mumbai batter go on to win a title for their team. And especially, even in international cricket, we have seen Virat and Shastri, two very fiery characters. And the success story
1-0.
they wrote. Huh?
1-0.
Yeah, they won Test series in Australia.
Yeah.
Those success stories these two wrote overseas for Indian cricket team, that will always be written in the history books. So the two characters which you're talking about, Ponting and Iyer, both of them are very, very positive, as Nehal Vadera said, and they have a plan in the place. Like Vadera, I think Vadera revealed, or someone else revealed, Vadera revealed in the press conference that Ponting, during that mid-innings, he told their bowlers, okay, the batters have done their job, now it's time for the bowlers to deliver. I want some fairy spells out there. And then you could see that firepower in the bowling and Shreyas Iyer's captaincy. I mean, I saw that he was trying to attack every batter, taking a short forward leg in a T20 match. That is sensational. And Shreyas Iyer as a captain, he always wanted that recognition.
Yeah.
That is why he left KKR even after winning the title. And I hope he will get it. I hope he will get it at Punjab Kings. Whether he wins it on IPL or not, that is a different story. But as a captain, he has done great work. And Vadera also said that Iyer is one of the greatest captains. He has finest leaders he has worked under, he has played under. And mind you, Vadera has played under Rohit Sharma also. So that speaks a lot about these two.
Without
People
a
who
doubt.
worked under Dhoni don't have that dilemma. So that's another thing.
Okay.
No, but I'm asking you something here, Saurabh.
Yeah.
Last year we said Gautam Gambhir won it for KKR.
Yeah.
This time will it be the same? That if at all Punjab Kings go on to do well, will Ricky Ponting take all the credit, or Shreyas Iyer's role is there? But if you look at the flip side, Gautam Gambhir is gone from KKR. Shreyas Iyer is gone from KKR. And Chandrakant Pandit, whom we all thought was... who is a very acclaimed domestic coach.
Domestic coach.
Has it been a little overwhelming for him at the highest level?
It looks like.
In the IPL level?
It certainly looks like. Even before Gambhir came, he was appointed as the coach, and they had a very, very poor season. Overseas player like David Vizay came out in public much after that IPL that the behavior of Chandrakant Pandit towards overseas players was not very great, not cordial at all. So I think Chandrakant Pandit is a coach who has been able to achieve some success, a lot of success in domestic cricket, because he does not get star players over there, especially for a team like Madhya Pradesh. He gets young guys whom he can groom. And we have also seen stories from someone like Ashutosh who said that Chandrakant Pandit threw him out.
Not say it in as many words.
Yeah, but he
there
meant
was
it.
a coach.
Yeah. And we all know who was the coach back then. Obviously, he will not name the coach. He has to play cricket.
Yeah.
But we can actually understand.
dots.
Yeah. So, especially with Chandrakant Pandit, and you know what is more baffling for me? When someone like Gautam Gambhir is out, he has left that post for India coaching. I don't know why will you bring someone like Dwayne Bravo. Bravo as a coach, I don't know what credentials he has. Yes, he's a great T20 bowler, a great T20 all-rounder, a title winner across the globe, but as a coach, never proven as a coach.
As
Never.
CSK's bowling coach, he worked well.
CSK's bowling coach he was because he has MS Dhoni to execute those plans on the pitch. Even when Rituraj was the captain last season, MS Dhoni was there. And whatever people might say, when MS Dhoni is there behind the wickets, you always get that help. He will always guide the bowlers to bowl these lines, that lines.
Yeah.
He's the one who invented someone like Kulcha. Like Kuldeep and Chahal, they were young bowlers, and MS Dhoni was the one who made those two successful. Those stumpings, those lines. So Dwayne Bravo's appointment is a bit baffling for me. Even the KKR fans have started doubting. And more than that, this team, especially KKR, why are you holding on to old heroes? When you know that they have given what they had
What
to
about
give.
MI? Ask him also the same question. Why are you holding on to your old heroes?
Which old hero have they hold on?
Rohit Sharma? What has he been doing? Tell me frankly.
Rohit Sharma is a leader. He
Who
is the
sits
one
in
who
the
brought...
dugout?
Okay.
Impact sub.
Okay.
You can make your leader impact sub. Talk about
Rishabh, you have been a Mumbai Indians fan.
Right.
Now let's
me-
quickly
tell-
take
no,
a
just
quickly
one
take a
point.
detour and come to this Mumbai Indians debate. You ask your question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One question.
Yeah.
Where was Mumbai Indians without Rohit Sharma as the captain in IPL?
Everybody
Winning,
saw.
playing the final in 2010.
How did you win anything?
Would have given them a couple more seasons. They would have won it under Sachin or Harbhajan.
Sachin was past his prime. Okay. And Rohit Sharma came and took that mantle. He made Mumbai Indians
All
what
that
they are.
is fine. We are agreeing that Rohit
So
is...
do not question Rohit
Where
Sharma.
is the performance now? And why is he being used as an impact player?
So the thing
What's
is,
the-
like,
what's
your
the-
captain can get all the credit for the leadership, and our captain cannot get all the captain for the leadership
There is
despite
no-
not performing
see,
at all,
in-
right?
When I'm asking,
Yes.
when I'm asking
Exactly.
you critical questions, don't make it your mind. Dhoni at 43 is winning you matches with his wicket keeping, with his late order hitting.
Yeah.
When it's doable, he does the job.
Yeah.
What has Rohit Sharma been doing? And my biggest question is, why will you not use his experience on the field?
Yes.
Why will you use him as an impact player?
Right, that is given. I guess I think last game also, it was pointed out that he was the one who opted. He suggested
like
that
how
ball
he dropped
change.
dropped himself in Sydney. Yeah.
He suggested that ball change,
change.
and then that kind of turned the game in our favor. And coming back to what you were talking about, that 43-year-old wicketkeeper batter. Yes, indeed, he is doing incredible, great work. He has got the leadership mantle back, and he's leading the team really well. And incredible behind the stumps, scoring runs for your team. But isn't that too scary for you people? Because I mean, after him. Even him on one leg at the age of 43, that uncapped Indian is there to win you games, and nobody else is standing up. Isn't that scary for the future? Whom will you
absolutely.
replace him with at the end of the day?
Absolutely. That's one major concern. We have all spoken about
Yeah.
how CSK lost it at the auction.
Okay.
Yes, we might talk about them winning on April 14, it being Tamil New Year Day, and thoughts of sparks of comeback.
Yeah.
But frankly, tell me, if it's a 180 plus score, do you see CSK chasing a target? That's something that probably they don't have. And so the good thing is that CSK brought in Shaikh Rashid, 20-year-old from Guntur, who did well. They also have someone like Vansh Bedi sitting in the dugout.
They also signed someone like Ayush Mahatre.
Ayush Matre. So I think it's about for CSK. I seriously don't think they have a chance to make it to the playoffs. But like in 2020, where they gave opportunities to the likes of Rudraj and all of them, probably take those tough calls. And Rahul Tripathi, okay, yes, he has done well in the IPL in the past, but he's not looking the part.
Not at all.
Get someone like Vansh Bedi in. Vijay Shankar, for all that consistency, he probably misses the spark. If you want to use the word spark here, he probably misses the spark. So give someone opportunity. There are people like Ramakrishna Ghosh waiting in the wings. So try them. Andre Siddharth. Probably CSK season will be about identifying these holes and probably getting Dhoni's legs fixed for the next season as well. But
Before you move on to another segment, I want to ask both of you. Tell me your best coach and captain duo of this IPL till now, and worst, not worst, but yeah, one who has not been able to replicate success on the field. Captain coach duo. One from you, one from you. Best and worst.
Well, I've already spoken about my best, Shreyas and Ricky Ponting.
Okay, fine.
I mean, what they are doing, see, for a fact, if we take a look at Punjab, they're not even playing their best cricket. They're dropping catches, they're doing those misfields, and the ball is all over the place, but they're still winning matches. Imagine what they can do when they play their best. And if we were to talk about the worst coaching duo, I mean, it was indeed Stephen Fleming and Ruturaj Gaikwad. They just could not gel together, which we felt out there on the field as well. And there was a lot of, this miscommunication on part, disagreement on part, on his own batting position, on MS Dhoni's batting position, on what would be the right combination for them. So yeah, those two were for me.
for me, the best is Dhoni.
Okay, yeah, pretty much expected.
No, but if you look at it, probably Axar and Hemang Badani.
Okay.
Hemang Badani's leadership group, like you pointed out, probably first time at this level, he needs that helping hand.
Yeah.
Matthew Mott there, Kevin Peterson there, Venugopal Rao there. That's a
Patel
good,
is also there,
solid group for which, and Axar seems to be although his what he thinks as cheeky in the post-match presentations sound a little odd these days.
Yes, exactly.
But he seems to have the, gut feeling, gumption to get the moves done. He's not a very inexperienced player. He has come through the ranks, and it was not like he was one of those Shubman Gills or someone who, broke through the scene and he was a star when he started out. He had to grind his way to become, and to break into that test setup which had Ashwin and Jadeja at their prime. So he has gone through a lot. He has had life lessons throughout his career, and probably, a good captaincy must not look like, oh, I am making this change. It's so easy. It flows on the field.
Yeah.
Like if you see MS at his prime, he used to give those first six overs to set people. He doesn't complicate things at all.
No.
That's something that I'm seeing in Axar Patel and that entire leadership group. They're not complicating things. Each of them know what to do. They have given particular roles. And I was very happy when you spoke about how, certain teams fucked up at the auction. But if you look at how Delhi Capitals went about their way, they had the temptation to, you could have easily made KL Rahul your captain and then, gone for the brand appeal. Some owners have publicly said that okay, we need a face to promote Virat Kohli. We have seen how Virat Kohli has been the face of RCB. I'm not saying Virat is a bad captain.
No.
But there is that temptation to market, to make your team more marketable. But Delhi resisted that temptation. At this, probably in this phase of his career, KL would have been burdened by that captaincy as well.
Yep.
When he's trying to reinvent himself as a white ball player. And that's something that Hemang Badani and his leadership group should be credited to, credited for. That's a good call, and it has translated into the season also. They are doing things simply. They're not, Vipraj Nigam. He's getting his quota of overs. Axar Patel, probably with an injury, he's not bowling himself, but they're clear. We can get the job done with Vipraj and Kuldeep is also bowling well. So that clarity, when you see a good working group, it should not be like, oh, you're laboring to get your wins. Everything is flowing well there. That's something that I like. And like I said, probably Ajinkya Rahane and Chandrakant Pandit, as in like, and that curator also throw him in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mess there. Yes, they have won the odd even thing. But if you look at it, they needed to take some bold calls. What's the point of taking Russell with you when he's probably not able to put bat to ball?
Yeah.
And you have a long batting order, and then yesterday also you get in an impact player who's a batter. How will these things? I have never seen a batter as an impact player in the first innings work. So these are kind of calls that are a little baffling. Although they are not at the bottom of the table. If you look at Pat Cummins and Daniel Vettori, they still are that confident bunch. They know that there is a way to play their cricket. Probably it has not worked out. Probably because of the lack of form of Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma at the top. It'll be interesting to see how they progress as well. They came back with a big win. So to me, it's Shreyas and Ajinkya.
Ajinkya, oh my God. Yeah.
And what about you, Saurabh? As in like, you will obviously say Delhi for the best.
No. For me, it is Gujarat, the best captain and coach setup. Especially like I talked about Ashish Nehra, even and Rishabh mentioned how Ashish Nehra has brought back these two Indian pacers back to life. Like Prasidh Krishna and Siraj, they were run machines last season. Krishna for Rajasthan and Siraj for Bengaluru.
Yeah.
And that is why RCB did not retain him.
Yeah. And keep in mind, there were doubts when Ashish Nehra's credentials were questioned last season, when things did not go well with Shubman. But Shubman was a young captain, and they also didn't have Mohammad Shami, who was injured throughout the season. So that lead pacer kind of thing, which the setup relies on, they are also creating a formula.
Yeah.
They are also creating a formula with which, they are keeping it simple. If you have a set formula in place, you can then go on to keep things simple. I think that's what they are doing.
Yeah, exactly. Even if a team buys someone like Jose Butler, and you're not playing him as an opener, you have a plan in your hand, right? You have Sai Sudarshan, who knows when to grind it out, and he has been scoring runs. He's not gone. He has been scoring runs at every pitch. He knows when to hit. He knows when to grind it out.
Yeah.
Shubman Gill. There have been a lot of questions about his captaincy last season, but this season he looks a better captain.
More assured at least.
And he has that backing from his coach Ashish Nehra. Yeah. And apart from that, if you look at the worst captain coach duo for me, I agree with you. It has to be Ajinkya Rahane and Chandrakant Pandit. Especially because Ajinkya Rahane as a leader, you did not buy him to be the captain. You bought him for a squad player.
Yeah.
Then you gave him the role because you could not buy a captain. You did not go for a captain. You spent 23 crores for someone like Venkatesh.
At least you should have made the bold call of making him the captain.
Yeah. And then Ajinkya Rahane, that guy is phenomenal. As a leader, as a batsman, people started questioning, even before the IPL started, I heard experts talk about, okay, Rahane is the captain, but how will he make that playing 11? Look at how he's making that playing 11. There. He has been scoring runs and he has been bailing KKR out. For all that famed lower order RRR trio, they have failed miserably. Rinku, Russell and Ramandeep. Yeah. I have not seen them doing great work for KKR. Apart from one game where Venkatesh Iyer and Rinku bailed them out, they have not been great at all. It is their bowling that is clicking almost every game, but their batters have failed. And Rahane, especially like you said, that tussle with the pitch curator at Eden Gardens, then he has, it looks like there are always disagreements with him and the coach, even with Bravo and him. And the way he has managed to marshal his troops on the field. Someone like Punjab Kings, they got a very good start. He brought in Harshit Rana. He placed Ramandeep Singh on that position. He knew he had a plan in place and he backed his players. And you see Narayan also picking wickets, Varun Chakravarti picking wickets. So Rahane has been sensational, but because of that management issue, the team has not been able to make that combination into a winning combination almost every game. Because they win one and they lose two.
Yeah.
This has been their
These are observations that we are making from the outside.
yeah,
We're
absolutely.
not, discrediting any work that anybody has done. But I thought you will name Jayawardene and Hardik.
No, not now. Had they lost to DC, I would have clearly said it.
See, Hardik as a captain, Mumbai Indians finished at number 10 last season. This time it's looking a little better. 8 at this point of time. But on Sunday after the CSK game, probably a little lower.
We'll see that. We'll see.
But I just wanted to ask you this question, Saurabh, because we were talking about this. What is more important in a coach? Do you want a really technical coach who has to, understand the basics of the game, or do you want someone like Gambhir who's a man manager? What is better suited for IPL? In international cricket, we thought Rahul Dravid will do wonders with the Indian cricket team because he was so technically good and all that. But for the first 2 years of his stint, I'm frankly saying, had he not won the T20 World Cup, there would have been questions
Champions
asked.
Trophy.
No, T20 World Cup.
T20
We're
World
talking
Cup.
about Rahul Dravid.
Rahul Dravid, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Had he
My
not
bad.
won the T20 World Cup, questions would have been asked.
Yeah.
But again, there was clarity in his thinking towards the later half of it. But had he not won it, questions would have been asked. Gambhir, rickety start, but then wins the Champions Trophy with this team. And at KKR, is Gambhir is he a certified coach? No. There are so many certified coaches who are going around in the scene. What is more important in a coach in a tournament like IPL? Is it the man managing factor or is it the technical aspect of it?
I personally believe, especially for all the leagues, not just IPL. So these are not football leagues; these are cricket leagues. You get a certain bunch of players for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months for max. Even when you're holding those camps, you get the domestic players, but those international players are not available for those camps. So when these international players come, then you decide you're playing 11. So it's always coming down to the man management. Because when you are the head coach or a mentor of a team, you are not going to tell someone that skill. You're not going to teach
And
the
you don't
skill
have
level.
that much time also, right?
Yeah. Like when you're talking about Ashish Nehra.
Jayawardene can't go to Rohit
Yes,
Sharma and
exactly.
tell him fix his problems because they have been long standing for a year or so.
When Gautam Gambhir won that IPL title as a captain and now as a mentor, do you think he went and told Narayan, okay, you have to hit these kind of shots. You're not going to play a cover over the cover. No, he just went and talked to players like Russell and Narayan. Okay, I need you guys to fulfill these roles. Tell me, how can you give it to me?
Yeah.
And those guys was ready to give it for someone like Gambhir because he trusts them.
Yeah.
And as a leader, as a captain or a coach or a mentor, you have to invoke that trust from your players, especially in these leagues. Because what happens is, like someone like David Vizay came for just 1.5 months for an IPL last year, and he left with very bad memories of a KKR coach. So that relationship has to be very, very important.
Yeah.
When Ponting, I was listening to Kevin Peterson in that first game. So Peterson had joined like 7 days or 8 days ago. Before that first game, he had joined Delhi Capitals.
Yeah.
And he was asked, your team is losing wickets. Do you think you can do the job? He's like, yeah, we have got someone like Ashutosh and Vipraj waiting in the wings.
Vippy, he calls him.
Yeah, Vippy and Ashu waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
And these two came out and did that job.
Yeah.
So I don't think Peterson just came for 7 days and he taught them the skill set.
Yeah.
He just nurtured their mindset. He talked to them and told them, you have to play this role. You have to finish the game. You have to be bold and strong. So as a coach, you have, obviously, when you are a coach of an IPL team, you are experienced or you have done something very good as a player that you are sitting there. But you being a good man manager is very, very, very important. Yeah. I remember Ishan Kishan was failing with Mumbai Indians a couple of seasons ago, and Mahela Jayawardene was having special training sessions with him as a wicketkeeper and then as a batter also. He was telling him what to do, what not to do. What is the bowler thinking when you are trying to play that shot? So that man management is very, very, very important for me. It's more important than you teaching that player, okay, you have to play over the covers. Okay, you are a bowler, you can't bowl wide Yorkers. Yeah. That man management is very important.
And like you said, in football, there are you play around the year, like 6 to 7 months a year you play and you can work on these technical aspects. Here with 45 days and half of them going in travel, what can you do? As in like I agree with that. Rishabh, as in like, is that the difference between a Boucher and a Jayawardene at Mumbai Indians?
I mean, yeah, I mean, the fact that you pointed about Jayawardene giving that special attention to Ishan Kishan. So Mumbai had found that Ishan Kishan was indeed a special talent. And him, despite failing for the first 7-8 games, they kept on backing him, kept on giving that positive talks. And then he turned out to be that match winner for us in 2019, 2020. And also, I mean, if you were talking about these man management thing, I remember what is the worst coaching saga in the history of Indian cricket? It's the Greg Chappell thing, right? He was just way too technical. I mean, I remember people talking about he was trying to correct Virendra Sehwag's technique for God's sake, and he even wanted to change the batting order and all. So that did not work well at all. You need to have that connection with your players. You need to have that good camaraderie. Your players need to trust you. You were talking about that Ashutosh and Kevin Peterson thing. Ashutosh has spoken at length about that, at the camaraderie he shares with Peterson. He instills that beliefs in him that, okay, you are my match winner. He inspires him every single day. So that is there between those players, and that is what is the utmost important that you need to succeed in a league, especially like IPL.
How is your captain's relationship with Gambhir?
Well, I mean, they are doing whatever they're doing in the field, and especially, I mean, given the fact that we just won the Champions Trophy, you can see might be like they're phasing it out. It might not be as good as it doesn't look good on Test cricket, but in ODI cricket, they have maybe found a method, they have found some rhythm, and hopefully they can continue that for the next 2 years for the big tournament that is pending, and maybe that one final dance all three of them can get.
Yeah.
So Rishabh is backing Rohit to play that
play the
T20 World Cup, lead the Indian team, and even win the World Cup. That is eluding him.
See, that's
right now.
that's okay, but I just don't know whether he'll go to England. Even if he goes there.
But Akshay, what do you think about the coach's role in a league like IPL?
See, I personally believe that there should be consistency.
Okay.
Like if you looked at teams that have done well in the past, like it's obvious that CSK and KKR have had consistent coaches. You know, you can easily discount Fleming's role, saying that okay, Dhoni takes the calls. But if you look at it, if you look at the way they speak, even Dhoni has said that I have a lot of conversations. You need a sounding board at least. You need someone to to not agree to everything that you say. Fleming has that reputation. Let's not forget, as in people who started watching cricket after the IPL probably might not know Fleming was one of the most successful New Zealand captains.
Yes.
So he deserves that respect in the dressing room, and you need to give time to your coach. Like it's like you pointed out, it's just 2 months. How much will you be able to know about the players if you give them a year-long time? Like a lot of IPL teams have camps starting like 6 months before, where domestic players are there and they scout well. So everything needs to be in sync. And I think, like you pointed out, I think the managerial role is more important. That's when also you need a solid setup. Just for the name of having 10 batting coaches, 15 fielding coaches, like a few teams had in the last 2 seasons and floundered. It should not be that way. It should be, someone like a Matthew Mott coming in as an assistant coach to Hemang Badani. Can you understand that equation? Has Hemang Badani won a major ICC tournament? No. But you know that Hemang probably might connect well with the Indian players. Matthew might be there for, probably the technical side of it, or I don't know how it works.
Yeah, the data side of it.
But you need to put in your thought before assembling a team. Just big names will not win you titles. We have seen that with Ricky Ponting. You pointed it out in 2013. But since he became a full-time coach, it's been iffy. They've shown a lot of promise, but they have not been able to hold on to clutch moments. That's why I think that defense of that 111 will give both Shreyas and Ponting a bit of confidence. And if you look at it, like you need to have that I think you need to have a settled core, and just for the sake of assembling a team, it shouldn't be assembled. It should be carefully picked, carefully thought out, like Vettori and his team of coaches. That's my take on this.
Yeah. And you pointed out about Ricky Ponting. I just remembered that Ricky Ponting, when he was let go of as the coach of Delhi Capitals, he came out in the public and press conference and he told the reporters that Delhi Capitals are looking for an Indian coach. They want someone who can be around the year with the team. That is why they went for someone like Hemang Badani. Like Badani is a very low profile coach, but he has won everything where he has gone.
Yeah.
He has won the TNPL. Right now, he won the IL T20 with the Dubai Capitals.
Yes.
Even with Hyderabad, he was there as a batting coach, assistant coach or batting coach in that capacity. So you need these men who always have that communication skill.
Yeah.
As a leader, how will you make your team work better? Only when you understand what their strengths are and where they can fail.
And it's also should be to and fro, right? Someone should be there to understand the emotions of the players.
Yeah.
That's why probably a mix of Indian and foreign. Is that how things will go in the future?
I think it will go like that only because you need someone who knows the exact technicalities of the T20 cricket as the cricket grows throughout the years, and someone who knows the players and who can communicate, because there should not be a language barrier.
Yeah. And I also have understood another important aspect of this.
Yeah.
Like when we are talking about coaches, I just wanted to slide this in. Players who have played recently and retired are being directly absorbed to the coaching setups.
Yeah.
If you look at it, someone like a Dwayne Bravo becoming the mentor of KKR, someone like Dinesh Karthik coming into the RCB setup, and even Gautam Gambhir for that matter, as in not played very long ago,
Yeah.
retired in 2019 and suddenly stepping into coaching. Will that help the recency of your playing career?
I guess, I mean, you tend to understand the team better. I mean, the case of Dinesh Karthik, he was playing at the RCB for the previous season.
Even earlier this year, he was playing in SA20.
Right. So you tend to understand what has worked for your franchise in the past. You have a good relationship with the players that they're playing in this season around. So yes, you do build that connection, and it is all about that. You need to be there for the players when you need them the most. If you're having a bad time, you need your coach to back you, and that is what gets the best out of you. That's what I feel.
You know, when you talked about this point, about the recency of the players who have become the coach, I just remembered a podcast where I heard about football. So football teams, the big clubs, now they are looking for younger coaches. Why? Because the young generation of football players, you can't just shout at them and expect them to perform the next game. You have to sit with them, have a coffee with them, have that conversation with them. Okay, when I was playing 2 years ago, I used to do this. Why is it not working with you? And then the guy will say, okay, I have to do this thing, I have to do that thing. So a young manager is more in, I will say, more in fashion and more successful in football. And the same pattern has followed in cricket also.
Especially in a sport like T20 cricket,
Yeah.
which is evolving every season. Like last season, you could have carried oversized bats, but this season you can't carry oversized bats. So when you go and talk to someone like a KKR opener, you have to tell him, oh, with this bat, how much can you hit?
Yes, exactly.
So that's the recency, I think, that will help. No, I'm just joking. But in these pressure situations, like with the impact player rule, how can you handle this? Probably someone like a Saurabh Ganguly might not be, very well aware of how an impact player works. Yeah, from the outside, you can probably easily get to it. But when you are in that hot seat, that is when you get to know. So we might see the trend of players retiring and then immediately joining
Younger
coaching
coaches.
setups.
Yeah.
Someone like a Dhoni retiring at 50.
That's what everyone is waiting for.
And then not only you. And then, going on to become probably the coach or the mentor or the assistant coach or whatever you want it to be. MS Dhoni, assistant coach CSK. How does it sound?
Well, I mean, you need to give that man a break. He's still doing the job for you at the age of 43 on one leg. Seriously, CSK fans, they need.
And someone like Rohit Sharma was not retired, was already started coaching. So that's also another trend. That taking that recency trend to another level.
Yeah.
Sit in the dugout and send out instructions. Don't play.
Without a doubt, that might work for us against you. You never know.
But Saurabh, as in with the amount of we are also being in clock timers. So before we leave, quickly tell me.
Yeah.
Before we'll come back in a week's time.
Yeah.
Where do you see the changes in the table? As in, like, there are plenty of derbies coming up this week.
Yes.
Will the top 4 change? Like the top 4 now is GT,
Yeah.
Delhi, RCB, and Punjab.
Okay.
Will it see a change? Do you think Delhi can? Probably that was a blip against Mumbai, and they can
Yes, it
continue.
was. I will always say it was a blip, especially after that unbeaten run of 4 matches. So if you ask
Okay,
me,
let me put it this way.
Yeah.
At this stage,
yeah.
who do you think are the likely 4 candidates for the playoffs?
So if you ask me, I will definitely name GT, DC. Then I will say Pupkas, especially after what Ponting and Iyer are doing. And one surprise team would be someone from the trinity of MI, SRH or KKR, not CSK.
What is that trinity? How do you relate that trinity together?
Yeah, because they are successful teams. They have won the
SRH with
title.
one title.
Yeah, okay. But last year they played a different.
See, there is no trinity in IPL. There is
Okay.
only the big 2.
Big two. Okay,
There's
my
no
okay.
changing.
I
Not
understand
even
that.
big two, there's
Okay,
big one.
big three. Give it to KKR also.
So for me, the fourth team.
Okay, can you repeat that for me?
So it has to be GT, DC, Pubcus, or either of CSK. No, not CSK. MI, SRH, or KKR.
Mine are, I would say,
Yeah, am I?
no, not those four. So RCB, PBKS, MI surely. I think they might find a reason to turn it around mid-season. You never know. Even your team might turn it around.
Yeah, let's go.
That might be a possibility.
Yeah.
So RCB, PBKS, MI, and either of DC or GT.
Okay. What do you think, Akshay?
See, it's simple for me.
Yeah,
If
very
you ask
simple for
me,
you. Yeah.
It's Delhi. I'm very impressed with the way they are playing. Not because you're my friend and all that. Delhi are
How
playing
does that
well.
correlate?
Delhi are playing well.
Yeah.
And I think RCB will get there. They have a good sounding board though. They have a good setup to,
The Chinnaswamy Stadium is going to be the biggest problem. For
Punjab
them.
are going
Exactly.
there. Let's see.
And Punjab are
Two teams
are
that
in
know-
form right now.
SRH are coming to Wankhede, Punjab are going to Chinnaswamy. It's going to be a hell of a affair.
Yeah. So DC, RCB for me.
Okay.
And MI for sure. No, I'm not counting them out at all. They are number 7 already. I didn't see that. And
Number 7 already. Okay.
and GT. Simple.
Okay. So you're not counting Punjab Kings.
No.
Seriously.
Punjab are finding their way out somewhere or the other. See, GT for me and DC for me are the two most settled teams. And RCB for the way they are playing. If they win 7 away games, they are through.
Then let me make
One
one.
when CSK go there.
Let
done.
me make one correction. It has to be DC, GT, Pubcus, and MI. RCB are not qualifying.
Okay. That's a bold call.
Yeah.
We'll come back to it next week.
Yeah, definitely.
But, we got a few comments last week as well. Like one of them, like we discussed in the last episode also, praised this setup. But there was an important comment which said, we are probably dragging it a bit too much.
Okay.
From David Raman, I think. But we'll try and keep the episode short. In this IPL, people might not have so much time to consume so much. We'll try and keep it short and crisp from the next time. But if you do have your comments, if you do have your thoughts, please send it across to 8588966996. Like we always say, if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave a comment. We'll be more than happy to learn your feedback. And if you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast, please do rate us. Thank you. Have a great week.